Seacard Pools is not a reputable company, in my opinion. They have been less than accommodating when it comes to their services, and they've even posted misinformation on the site that I feel had to be addressed and which was addressed. Well, since the last time we spoke, I found a leak. After the installation was completed, they went ahead and did the installation, and then I was scheduled to have the cut in a day or so. It took them 4 days to get someone to do the cut in. And once they did the cut in, I was supposed to pay the final $200, which I did not pay because I wanted to make sure that everything was okay. A day later, my backyard started filling up with water, starting from around the pool and then leaking out into the front yard. So the water was coming from somewhere, and we couldn't figure out where. But we called Seacard, and they told us that they had one person that did leak detection, and he was backed up for a while. So I was like, "What do you want me to do? What should I be doing? Because all this water is leaking out, in my yard." And they said, "Well, we'll just schedule him to come out." Well, I went online and looked up a YouTube video on how to detect a leak on a vinyl sided pool. And I found the leak myself, and I videotaped it and I sent it to Robert, who is the construction manager, I guess, at the company at Seacard. So then the next day he said, "Well, it looks like you have a leak." And I was like, "Yeah." And so he said, "Well, I'm just going to order you a new liner." No one ever came out. So I said, "Well, what do I do in the meantime? What am I supposed to be doing?" So they sent someone over. No, they didn't send anyone over with a pump. My husband brought home a pump from work, and we drained our own pool because the water was going everywhere and it was flooding my backyard. So we drained our own pool. They came back, I want to say it was almost 2.5 weeks later, and they installed the new liner. Once they installed the new liner, they demanded their final payment, and I didn't pay it because I was like, "Well, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait until I want to make sure." So again, I waited. So probably about 2 weeks went by, and then I started getting these calls from Allison saying, "We need our payment. We need our payment." And I said, "Well, you're going to have to wait because I want to make sure that this is, once I give you that, I'm done. I don't have anything else to basically to leverage with." So um, they ended up sending out a notice saying that they were going to put a lien on the property or something. It was their collections. So a month had gone by that time. So I went ahead and paid it, and that was it. So recently, what came up, by the way, the pool's fine. We ended up having the coping done. It's all good now. We haven't had any problems since. But then I don't know. I got an email saying that, "Hey, someone's commented on your post." And so I got this anonymous. If you look at my posting from the original complaint, there was an anonymous posting from someone at Seacard Pools, which I thought was hilarious because the whole thing is full of lies. So I responded to it and said, I clarified everything that it's their interpretation. I shouldn't say a lie, but it's their interpretation of what happened. But some certain things in here, obviously, this person was misinformed. They didn't have the correct information because if they had a read through my post, they would have seen that I did a timeline step by step up until the time we found the leak was my last posting. So I went ahead on there and made sure I clarified that. But I still am furious with these people, and everybody that I know that says, "Oh, I'm thinking of doing a vinyl pool," I tell them, "Do not use this company. Do not use this company. If you have to pay a little more, go out of the city, then do it. But don't use this company." If I had time to pick it out in front of their offices in Paris, I would, because that's how bad these people are. The first part of the post says that uh, they were really complimenting their sales manager Vince and saying that he'd helped tons of people over the years. And then they went into my case talking about I declined when Vince first came over. I declined help in fixing or replacing the visibly loose bricks in the coping. That part is true. I said, no, we'll repair the coping. We're more concerned about replacing the liner. So they went on to state that the customer declined and stated that the husband was a mason and he would fix it himself. My husband is not a mason, and I never said that. I never said that. I said that, do you have a recommendation for someone that can fix this? After they'd already scheduled the installation. Vince never said this brickwork is going to have to be redone. He never said that. Then they said there are times we may encounter unforeseen issues that there is no way to see prior to the pool being drained and the liner being removed. This is what happened in the customer situation. That is not true. When the installers came over, the pool was still not drained, and they said he just took one look at it and said, "I can't do this. All this has to be rebuilt." So once again, Vince was he wasn't educated on how to determine whether or not a vinyl liner can be replaced. They also said that Mrs. Thompson made several demands that we should do the work for her at no cost. If I demanded them to do the work at no cost, why did I give them $1,300? Why did I pay? So I don't understand why they put that in there. They also said upper management spoke with the missus, and she was again informed that structural repairs were extensive and not part of the scope of work. We sent our field supervisor to meet with her and offer free consulting on how the repairs to the pool should be done. That never happened. Never happened. They said a couple weeks went by. We inspected the repairs by another party for free and scheduled the pool's liner to be installed. The track that was used to hang during the installation progress needed to be replaced, so a change order was added to the project. That's probably the only correct statement in this whole post. They also said that they gave me a recommendation of two masons to complete the work. They never gave me any recommendations for two. They gave me one. The one mason that I called told me to try to get my money back, that he wasn't coming from Santa Ana to do that work. I had sent him pictures of the repairs that needed to be done, and he said it's too expensive. He couldn't do it, and he didn't want to come from Santa Ana to do it. That was the only mason that I was contacted, that they referred me to. He said a new liner was immediately ordered and installed shortly afterward at no cost to the customer. Why would it be a cost? Your liner was defective anyway. So they said that the padding and new foam was required to complete the project. It says the customer did not want to pay for the wall foam, so the Vince offered a roll of foam for free. Okay. It was included in the cost. It even says it on the contract. All the parts and stuff are included in that original $1,300 that I paid. He didn't give my husband anything for free. He told my husband to go to the Paris office to pick it up because the installers were coming like within the next couple of days. So there was just a bunch of these things that they were saying in here that were inaccurate, and how I was demanding and angry and demanding them to do a bunch of work for free, which never happened. And yes, I was angry because I wasn't told the truth in the beginning that extensive work needed to be done before the liner could be replaced. So all of that, I came out of pocket. Those were all my additional costs. I paid them their whole contract, whatever they required me to pay. I never demanded a discount or anything for what, whatever it was they wanted. But another thing was I did question with upper management because Vince had failed to sign the contract. So I said, you know what? He hasn't even signed it. So how is this even legal that you can hold me to this when he hasn't even signed the contract? They said, oh, we have a signed copy here. And I said, well, where's my copy? I never heard from them on that either. So when I responded to them, I made sure I went line by line, and I went by each statement that they made, and I came back with exactly what was the truth, what I believe was the truth, what I know was the truth. It's not what I believe, it's what I know is the truth. They were trying to save their reputation. They said they've been in business since 1958, been family owned and operated, and have helped thousands of families, achieve many years of family fun. I don't care if they helped 1,000 people or one person, but this one person didn't get treated right. This one person didn't get quality help. Customer service was awful. The pool is fine. The liner is fine, but C Card didn't design the liner. That was done by some other company, but yet they're taking credit for that as well. So I was amused at the fact that this person posted anonymous. If they're so into their company and stand behind their business, why didn't they post their name so that people would know who wrote the statement instead of putting it anonymous? Well, I made sure and put my name on mine. So I hope that any customers that have any questions about my experience or want to know what I think about anything, if they read, this site, if they read this complaint, that they contact me because I will be forthcoming with everything.